I think this might be an underrated tip for anybody learning any language, but definitely you, my friend, learning the English language. And I'm recording this on my phone, so if the audio turns out to be less than great, you have my apologies, my friend. So I was talking to my brother Mateus. Some of y'all have met the young man. If you haven't, just keep listening to the podcast. He will be back soon. And so I was telling him that I need him to help me practice my Portuguese because it's been quite some time since I've consistently spoken that language with people. And I feel myself forgetting things that I should not be forgetting. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I can't forget a language like that. I just can't do it, bro. Not that one. Specific, like not any of them. Take all of them. Just not that one. You feel me? Anyway, so he said, yeah, of course, like I'm gonna help you, whatever. And we start talking. And I'm talking to this man in Portuguese, using Portuguese words, forming Portuguese sentences. And time after time, I kept thinking in Thai. Like I would start a sentence in Portuguese, but then like a conjunction, for example, like linking words or certain phrases that connect one idea to another, they just kept coming to me in Thai. I couldn't think of the Portuguese words to express myself. My brain didn't jump to English. It didn't jump to Spanish. It jumped to Thai. And at first I was like, well, obviously I'm in the country. I'm immersed in the language. I'm trying to learn every day, trying to practice every day and shit like that. So, and I just got back from the bar. So I was thinking and speaking in Thai there. So that might be the reason I was already with those words in my head. But I'm not sure that's the case. I think it might be because of the way that I tend to learn languages. And it's instead of learning like a bunch of individual words and making tons of flashcards and drilling 150,000 times and hoping I remember the word the next time I need to use it, what I'll often do, if I am going to study like that, I'll typically study phrases, a word in context with the situation in which I would normally use this word, so I can practice that way. And also when I'm listening to natives, especially if I can see them, I'm paying attention to the context of the situation when they use that word or phrase, the tone of their voice, the look on their face, how I felt when I heard them say it, how the person they were talking to reacted, all that type of stuff gives you more, what would I say, context or information when trying to determine, like, what does this mean? What do they mean when they say it? How am I going to sound if I say it? Who can say this and why are they saying it? Stuff like that. Anyway, getting back to the phrases, which is the main point here. I noticed that like when I learn new languages, I'm constantly trying to make connections. Like, oh, in this language they say it this way. In this language they say it that way. So whenever I learn a new word or a new phrase in Thai, I'm immediately thinking, how would I express that in English? How would I express that in Spanish? What's the phrase for that in Portuguese? And I think that might be why like certain words just kept coming to me in Thai, because it's like the way I'm learning a language is, okay, I know these words are used to connect these kinds of ideas. And then I just use it so many times that I just know the word. So let me give you an example, because I don't know if this is clear. The phrase "and then" in English can be used, for example, if you're telling a story. This happened, and then that happened. You see, describing the sequence of events, the order of events. In Spanish, what would that be? Y luego, right? And then in Portuguese, it would be y daí or então, or at least that's how I would say it. And in Thai, it's lao go. That was horrible. Lao go, something like that. Lao go. And so that's one of the phrases that kept coming to me when I was trying to speak Portuguese to this man. And it's because like, when I learned the phrase lao go, I'm immediately thinking of how I would use, or what phrase I would use to connect sentences in the same way in Spanish, Portuguese, English. You know what I mean? So it's almost like in my brain, I'm not thinking about the literal meaning of the words or even what language I'm speaking per se. It's more like I'm trying to communicate this idea. And I know how to do it in multiple languages, so it's like my brain shuffles through them and just picks one, depending on whatever language I'm speaking at the moment. Does that make sense? It's almost like sometimes I'm not even thinking in the language. It's just like, I've tried to explain this to a couple people before. I don't know if it was clear. I'm going to try to explain it to you. When I'm speaking a foreign language, what often happens in my brain, and I can visualize this, I see it happening. I want you to think about a conveyor belt. like in a factory where they're assembling machines, and there's this long belt made of rubber, probably like half a meter wide, and on both sides of that belt there are people, and each of them is responsible for putting one piece of the machine onto the machine and then sending it down the line, sending it down the assembly line, the line that is responsible for assembling the machine. You with me? So I want you to imagine a conveyor belt. Now, put that conveyor belt in my brain and imagine that each sentence that I speak or say first had to go down a conveyor belt as a bunch of mini-me's put the words in the proper order and then sent it out. Sent it down the line and then out of my mouth. Does that make sense to you? I'm not like necessarily thinking in that language. I'm just very quickly putting these blocks, these phrases, these chunks in the order that I believe to be correct. I'm doing that as quickly as possible and then just sending it out. That's what I feel is happening when I'm speaking a foreign language. Not all the time. Sometimes I really am thinking in that language, but oftentimes I feel like there's an assembly line in my head. And so I'm just quickly thinking, okay, this is where the verb, the subject, the conjunction, the preposition, you know what I mean? Like a typewriter. I don't know if this is making sense to you, bro. I don't know if this is making any fucking sense, but it makes sense to me. So I started this fucking recording saying I think this might be an underrated tip. What I was going to tell you is that I recommend that you learn in phrases instead of just individual random words that you hope to remember at some point. Focus on the most common phrases that natives use to express certain ideas. And really, in an attempt to link this idea to the thing about the conveyor belt, what I'm trying to communicate is that I'm often not focusing on each individual word. I'm focusing on what I want to communicate. And then I think I said that, right? My brain chooses that phrase based on whatever language I'm using at the moment. But I know the equivalent in the other languages, even if we don't say it the same exact way. I've just practiced the pattern of speech so many times that now I know when I'm feeling this, I want to communicate that, it's A, B, C, D. Pa, 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 pa. You know, I'm not thinking A, B. You know what I'm saying? I've just practiced the speech pattern so many times. Lao go, lao go, lao go. I've said that so many fucking times that it wanted to come out even though I was speaking a different language. You see what I'm saying? Because no matter what, I'm trying to communicate the same thing. It's just my brain got mixed up and reached for the top shelf and when it should have reached for the second shelf. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, bro. If you're listening to this, then I listened to the episode and said, okay, this is making some kind of sense. But there's a chance this will never see the light of day. Because I don't know if I'm making any sense here. Was that even a fucking tip, right? Learn phrases, not words. But what I'm saying is, bro, pay attention to people's speech patterns. Pay attention to the way they communicate. It's not about each individual word all the time. You don't have to understand every single word and have a translation for every single word or phrase. Because it's not always going to be the case. You just can't translate some things. We just don't express ourselves in the same way. You know what I mean? So you have to learn, like, this is how they express this. And then just focus on the feeling and what you're trying to communicate, not even necessarily the words. Not even necessarily the words. All my Brazilian, Portuguese, Angolan, Mozambicano, I don't even know, Mozambican, I believe in English. I don't know if I've ever used that word as a nationality. Anyway, everyone who speaks Portuguese on the podcast, I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple countries. The word saudade, I'm like anybody who doesn't speak this language, just give me a second because I'll explain and it'll make sense. The word saudade doesn't exist in English. It's a Portuguese word. I don't know exactly what it means. I just know exactly how to use it. You see what I'm saying? Because by talking to real people again and again and again and again and again and listening to them use that word, paying attention to the situation in which they use that word, the look on their face, the tone in their voice, I start to get an understanding of how the word is used, even though I have no idea what it means because I can't translate it. I can't even explain it to somebody who doesn't speak Portuguese. I can't even explain it to myself. I just know how it's used. I know what I'm trying to communicate when I use that word, even if I can't explain it to you. You see what I'm saying? I hope so. Because I feel like after everything I've said, that's probably like that's the purest, simplest form I can give it to you. You know? Don't obsess over random words that you hope to remember. Focus on the words if you want, but phrases that people actually use every day and what they're really trying to communicate. You don't always have to translate shit. Just focus on what's being communicated. Pay attention to the context and the way people say shit. And then imitate those speech patterns. That's what I'm saying. You got to drill the speech patterns, you know? You know how like professional athletes, they will practice the same moves again and again and again if they're playing football. The same dip of the shoulder, the same step overs, the same pass, the same cross, the same free kick, whatever it may be. Again and again and again until their muscles remember perfectly the motion they're supposed to make to achieve the desired outcome, which is a fucking goal, right? They do that so when the pressure's on, it's fucking game time. Saturday night, thousands of people watching. In that moment, they'll be able to fucking just pop, 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 pop. Play out the pattern that they practiced so many times. It's just like that with language, bro. Just like that with language. You just have to like this, and I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm going to find a different way to say that. The way I learn languages is by paying attention to patterns. You don't have to. What I do is try to recognize patterns. Where the subject goes, where the verb goes, where the preposition goes, the tone of their voice when they use certain expressions, the look on their face, the context of the situation, how this word makes people feel, who typically says this word, how old are they, right? Are there other ways to use this word? Are there alternatives for this word or phrase? Is this formal or informal? Thinking about that every single time I have a conversation. Every single time I listen to people speak, I'm thinking about these things. Just listening, just paying attention. And it's hard for me to teach you that. I know sometimes I talk about it on the pod and it's like, it's not clear because I haven't even sat down to try and like systematize the whole thing. Write it down on paper. This is what I do. I don't think about it that way. I just do it. You know what I mean? So forgive me for that because I don't really know how to teach you that yet. All I can do is try to tell you or explain how I think about learning languages. And that's the way, it's pattern recognition. And then once you recognize the pattern, just repeat the pattern again and again and again and again and again. Which is why you got to be talking to people, because you're not going to sit in your room for an hour every day going, and then, just because you want to learn the phrase, and then, you know. You know what I'm saying? 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 Can you imagine just sitting in your room like a fucking lunatic? Like a fucking lunatic, just saying the same shit again and again and again. I'm not saying it wouldn't work. What I'm saying is the reason you need to be talking to people, one of the many reasons, is because then you will constantly have chances to put everything you're learning into practice. That's why so many of you are frustrated, because you're constantly consuming new shit. You hear new words and phrases, but then when it's your time to talk, like none of that more advanced, technical, natural, cool, smooth shit that you heard, none of that comes to mind. Because you never used it. You never used it, bro. If you don't use it, you lose it, player. You know what I'm saying? Write that down in your notebook, get it tattooed, do whatever you gotta do. If you don't lose it, you gonna use it and do it and choose it. How I'm gonna fuck up the damn phrase after the voice change, bro? This pod has long since, that's not even the right phrase. That's not even the right phrase. I'm tripping tonight, bro. It's like, I don't know which language I want to think in, sitting here trying to talk to you, bro. What I was going to say is this podcast, this episode, fell off the rails a long time ago. So if this episode gets posted and you're listening to this, just know that I listened to the episode and either said, yeah, they're going to get some value from this. Or fuck it, maybe they'll think this is funny. You gotta laugh at yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I'm gonna just turn this into a fucking talking about nothing. Man, fuck it. It's my podcast. I run the motherfucking show. You hear me? The director, the producer, the screenwriter, the cameraman, the mic boy. Me! Not you! Me! You know who I am? My name is Tony Montana. Bro, it's like 3 a.m. I need to fucking... I'm being a dick right now. I got neighbors and shit. Let me pipe down, fam. Pipe down is a colloquial way of saying be quiet. Or shut the fuck up, you know what I'm saying? It's like when somebody's making a lot of noise. If you say pipe down, they could just be making noise or they could be talking too much and too loudly. You say, man, pipe down, bro, pipe down. It is a not so polite way of telling somebody to please either speak more quietly or shut the fuck up, if that makes you happy, or just, you know? Or like, I don't want to hear what you got to say, pipe down, bro, shut the fuck, hey, you know? Quiet that shit down, see? But you gotta be careful because it's quite rude if you don't know who the person you're talking to. You would never be like at a restaurant. Well, I can't say never. Many kinds of people. I wouldn't recommend that you go to a restaurant or you be on the bus or some public place and you don't know the person you're talking to and they're making too much noise and you say, hey, pipe down, bro. Like, I don't recommend you say that. You say whatever you want, bro. If you got it like that, maybe you into MMA, the UFC, the Muay Thai, and the Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know what you capable of, bro. You handle yourself. I'm just out here trying to give suggestions, fam. Trying to keep your motherfucking head safe. So yeah, I would say don't go to public places telling people to pipe down. You would say that to a friend that you look at like a brother or a sister. You would say that to a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or a wife. You wouldn't say that to a stranger on the street unless you were prepared for conflict. You know? That's a slight exaggeration. I don't want y'all to think that Americans are fucking everyone's violent and ready to fight at any time, because that's certainly not the case. But, you know, it just depends on where you are. You know what I'm saying? It's a big country, many kinds of people. So it's very difficult to talk about America. It's very difficult to talk about our culture, our country, our people, because it's, you know, what is an American, bro? So why was I even saying that? Oh, yeah, I don't want you to think that everybody's just fucking violent, packing guns and knives and ready to fucking fist fight. Because you told them to speak more quietly, you know. I was just saying I need to pipe down. In this case, it's perfect because it's 3 a.m. and I'm being an asshole by raising my voice when I got neighbors on both sides, you know what I'm saying? So this is a good moment to pipe the fuck down. That's what I was trying to explain to you. So yeah, this episode started off as me like just trying not to lose this epiphany I had when I was getting these languages mixed up and shit. That shit fell off the rails. So here we are, my friend. We have made it past the first stage. I hope you're comfortable. Go ahead, put your feet up. Get some snacks, popcorn, candy, whatever floats your boat. Some people like the chocolate. Some people like the fruit. Some people like the nuts and the berries and the fucking oatmeal. I don't know. And did you know that when Brazilians watch a football match on TV, they'll often eat popcorn while they watch the game? Did you know that? I don't know if that's the whole country, but in my experience, at least the people I know, they typically eat popcorn while they watch a game, which is interesting to me because where I come from, we eat popcorn when watching a movie. And we eat stuff like pizza or chicken wings or chips and dip or chips and salsa. We eat stuff like that when we watch a game. Also, another thing that I found interesting about my Brazilian brothers and sisters is at the barbecue. If y'all haven't had Brazilian barbecue, man, just fucking Put it on the bucket list, bruh. Before you check out, before you say, I'ma head out this motherfucker, before you kick the bucket, before you move on to whatever you think happens after the end of this life, before that happens, save up your money, do what you gotta do, learn a bit of Portuguese, and get down to Brazil to try yourself some barbecue, bro. I heard the Argentine barbecue is quite tasty as well. Haven't had the privilege of testing it out myself yet, but it's on the list, y'all. Anyway, Brazilians, when eating barbecue, will often eat garlic bread with the barbecue, which I found interesting because in the U.S., I would say most people would assume that with a barbecue, you might eat like Hawaiian rolls or some type of roll, some type of bread, but not garlic bread. It's typically, like at least in my family, when we had a barbecue, we would have Hawaiian rolls, which is, I don't even know if that's the correct term, but they're like these little rolls of bread, and the bread is really sweet. And then you put some butter on the bread as well, and then you got the salty and the sweet flavors mingling and tingling on the taste buds. You feel me, bro? That shit is, that shit be hitting, bro. Anyway, yeah, you might eat like rolls with the barbecue, or I mean, I'm trying to think of any other bread. I'm trying to think, do we even eat rolls with every barbecue? I can't remember. It's been a long time. But garlic bread in the U.S., most people would eat that with Italian food, like spaghetti. Like when my mom would make spaghetti, we would eat garlic bread with it. Never seen somebody eat garlic bread at a barbecue. And it's like, it's one of those things where if you in the U.S. and you want to make garlic bread for everybody, it's not a problem. It's just like, typically you wouldn't expect somebody to eat garlic bread at a barbecue, you know what I'm saying? So that's culture for you, my friends. Here in Thailand, bro, I was at a bar last weekend, and one of the people I was with was sitting there eating fried frogs. I shouldn't say fried because they didn't look like fried. They weren't deep fried in batter and shit, but they were cooked somehow. And they were like crispy and stiff and shit. So I imagine some heat was applied to them, right? And I'm not talking like, I'm not talking a frog the size of your hand or your foot, like big ribbit type of frog. The fuck was that, bro? That was my attempt at a ribbit, which is the sound a frog makes. Ribbit. It's fucking terrible. I can make a lot of sounds, bro, but apparently frog is not one of them. Anyway, I'm not talking about a frog that size. I'm not talking about a toad, you know? I'm talking about something in centimeters, bro. I don't know, like 12 centimeters, maybe? Is that like 4 or 5 inches? I don't know. But that type of you got an idea now. Like a frog that size, very skinny legs. It's a tiny little frog, and they eat it like it's, what could I equate that to? Like potato chips. It's just a little bit crunchy, and they eat the whole thing. Just fucking. They offered me some, but I couldn't go for it, bro. I couldn't get there. I couldn't eat the fried frogs, dog. I couldn't do it. I did eat what looked to be maggots, though, and I didn't know that at the time, like, because they had 2 bags of like snacks. I don't even know where they got them from, but they didn't get them from the bar. That was just like from home snacks, or from they would like went to go get some street food and then took some with them. And so they brought out the first bag, and it looked like peanuts. I wasn't paying attention. They were like this yellowish kind of light brown color, and I thought they were peanuts. And they said, "Hey, you want some?" So I was, "Oh yeah, sure." Grabbed some peanuts, or so I thought. Put them in my mouth and started chewing, and I was like, "Oh, these aren't peanuts, bro. These are kind of squishy. They're kind of fucking soft, you know." And then I look at the bag, and I'm like, "What am I eating? Fucking beans or something?" And it looked like maggots. And I'm sorry, because I have no idea how to explain what a maggot is. M-A-G-G-O-T, I believe. But this is English, so there might be 2 G's, there might be not. Because M-A-G-O-T it's not even a word. I would try to read it like French, like magot, right? don't think that's a word. Anyway, Google that word, maggot, maggot, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The little fucking... It's not a worm. It's not like an insect. It's an invertebrate. I don't know, bro. Science class was not one that I attended. Anyway, I ate a bit of that and was like, ooh, didn't know I was eating maggots. I mean, they weren't bad, but they weren't good either. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't interested in eating more. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now. And then they pulled out the frogs, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna have to pass on that one, player. I'm cool on that one, player. Yeah, I can't do the frogs. What type of weird shit do they eat in your country? Because I gotta believe every country has some weird shit, right? Just some shit that's like, why? You don't need to eat that. Why are you eating that? For example, fried frogs. For example, maggots. Why are you eating maggots when 7-Eleven is fucking 30 meters from here, bro? Go get you a snack. Why are we eating maggots? You know what I'm saying? I could understand there's nothing else to eat. Why are we eating maggots, though? You know? But just, humble American boy trying to understand. Just trying to understand why. Anyway, those are two examples, maggots and frogs. I'm thinking, like, you don't need to eat that, so why are you eating that? And I feel like every country has that. When I think about the U.S., what weird shit do people eat? You know what we eat that's fucking weird? Processed food. That's what we eat. Fucking fake sugar, grease, fat, salt. Jesus Christ. You know how many people fucking plain old salt kills every year? Just salt and sugar. Taking the lives of so many great Americans. So many great people. Lost to the fucking sugar. The fucking salt. Do something about this, y'all. I'm about to start a revolution in this bitch. Down with the salt. Down with the sugar. Huh? Up with those fucking omega-3s. Up with that vitamin C. And vitamin D. Huh? New World Order, folks. New fucking World Order. You heard it here first. Starting a movement. Starting a movement, bro. You with me? Huh? I need to know if I got your support on this, bro. I will go alone. You know what I'm saying? You know me, bro. I'll go alone. I'll face the heat. But I need to know if you with me on this, bro. I need to know if you riding or if you rolling. You know what I'm saying? What's it gonna be? Revolution. Anyway, that's what we eat in the U.S. Fucking salt, sugar, processed food, artificial meat that was produced in a laboratory, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. What do y'all think about that? Let's imagine a world in which you have been convinced that eating animals is in fact destroying the planet. Not trying to get controversial here. I don't give a fuck what you think or believe. I'm uneducated on the shit. I'm not trying to prove a point. Just an example. So, let's imagine you've been convinced that eating real animals is destroying the planet. You've been convinced that it's best if everyone eats meat that was produced in a laboratory. Huh? Just imagine that scenario. Are you really going to go to McDonald's, Burger King, Five Guys, In-N-Out, whatever burger shops you got in your country? Are you really going to go down there and ask for a fucking schwack burger, bro? Are you really going to go down there and ask for the fucking knockoff burger, bro? Are you really going to go down there and ask for the fucking Rudy Tooty faking fruity burger, bro? Are you really eating meat that was grown in a lab? The same way mold grows in petri dishes, Bacteria and shit. That's what you gonna do? Huh? That's what you gonna do, man. I respect it. I just can't get there. I can't get there. And to be honest with you, bro, I don't think it's... how would I word that? To be honest with you, I could honestly see many of the companies just replace, once they get the recipe perfect, they'll just replace the meat that you buy with the fake meat. They won't even tell you. Why would they tell you? If they got into the point where like they tested 700 random people and nobody could tell that it was fake meat, why would they tell anyone it was fake meat? They produce it for fucking 3% of what it costs to produce real animals, and they make 97% more profit. Why would they tell anybody? All they're gonna do is piss a bunch of people off, you know? Start a fucking war. I know some people that would start a war over meat. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, why would they tell us? If I were an evil fucking trillionaire that was genuinely in control of the world's food supply or a country's food supply, and I knew that I could make meat in a lab and make trillions more dollars with half the effort, why the fuck would I tell people that I'm doing that? You know? If they're not gonna know either way. So that's what I'm asking you to consider, bro. How do you know the meat you're eating right now is not fake? How do you know we're not in a simulation, bro? How do you know you're not a fucking sim on somebody's computer in a different dimension? Huh? Come on, bro. I'm asking you to think today. Oh, man. Talking about nothing, folks. Talking about nothing. You know what I'm going to talk about? Something that was on my mind earlier. I went to the bar tonight with some drinking buddies, and like I've gone out with them multiple times, and at first it's like we all come from different countries, different culture, different language. It's like at first you can't really judge people just off your first impression. I think that's one thing that really is unfortunately being lost as time passes and everything becomes so quick and surface level and fucking isolated. Not to get dark here or pessimistic. It's just one thing that I think many of us have forgotten and many will never learn is that relationships take time. You know, whether we're talking about platonic, just friends, or romantic, a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a wife or a husband, same thing. Oftentimes we meet somebody for the first time. We're gonna get a first impression, and then we use that to form our idea of who that person is. I don't want to see that person again. I do want to see that person again. Or this person is this way based off of one interaction I had with them. And that's normal sometimes. Like sometimes I don't want to see that motherfucker again. Like, don't want to hang out with that person. I don't want to see her, talk to her. Fuck that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But other times it's like sometimes, out here teaching English. Other times it's like you gotta give yourself multiple chances to see who that person is, especially if they don't speak the same language as you. They're from the other side of the world. You know nothing about them. It's like it's very easy to form a distorted perception of that person when they could be your best friend if you just gave it a chance. I don't know, that sounds fucking romantic, but let me bring it back to what actually happened tonight. I went out with these people. I've been out with these people many times before. We go out quite frequently. And at first, it felt kind of like stiff and not awkward, but just we're not really clicking. We don't really know what we have in common. We don't know what to talk about. We speak each other's languages barely, so it's challenging to communicate, and we got different interests and shit like that. So anyway, it just wasn't clicking at first. But then I noticed that as I start to learn more Thai, it's much easier to communicate with the people that speak Thai. And they can express themselves in the language that's natural and normal to them, familiar to them. So I get to see who they really are and the way they naturally express themselves. Because when they try to do it in English, it's like their personality gets shoved through a filter. And I get the end result. It's like trying to push a fucking ball, a round ball through a square peg, a square hole. You know, even if it fits, you gotta fucking squeeze that bitch through. That's not a good example. That's not a good analogy. Forget all of that. Scratch that. Wipe the memory. Whoop. How would I put that, my friend? I forgot what I was even fucking saying. Jesus. What I'm trying to communicate is that you got to give relationships time. That's what I was saying. At first, it just wasn't clicking. But as I learned Thai, there you go. It always comes back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with me. So as time went on, I started learning Thai, and they could express themselves in their language, and I could get to know them a bit better, see how they express themselves, their mannerisms, their personality, what they really want to say, and now I can understand a lot more of what they're actually saying and say more of what I want to say. And so now we notice that we have common interests. We both want to learn each other's languages. So it's like now we're in this situation where we have a reason to be talking to each other. And we figured out, we actually like each other. We got similar interests. You funny, I'm funny. We having a good time. Let's kick it again next week, blah, blah, blah. And what I'm saying is oftentimes we won't even get to that point because we hang out with somebody once, maybe twice, and we don't feel a spark. We don't feel a flame. We don't feel a connection. And we think, that person's just boring. Fuck that person. I don't want to hang out with them. Sometimes that is the case. But other times it's like, well, how much effort have you really put into trying to get to know that person? Are you sure that you're interpreting the things they say and do correctly? You know what I mean? There's so many interactions or things that happened that I interpreted one way, and then as I got to know these people better, I understood, it's just a difference of culture. It's just a different way of communicating. In this country, that's no big deal. In my country, that's no big deal. You see what I'm saying? We would never get to those understandings or to that point in a relationship if we were just going off of first impression or initial reaction, the initial feeling, you know? Am I making sense to you? Just something I was thinking about. Sometimes you just gotta give it time. And getting back to what I was saying earlier, is like today, that's the antithesis of modern dating culture, of modern friendships and shit like that, is I swipe left, or what is it, like they pop up on the screen, and if I don't like the quick fucking dry 200 character bio and a couple of pictures, swipe left, fuck them. On to the next, swipe. Same thing on social media. Like on TikTok, a video pops up. If it's not fucking lighting that flame in 3.5 seconds, swipe on to the next video. Swipe, scroll. And what I got this from Mark Manson, the author, I believe he's the author of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And in one of his podcast episodes, he pointed out that, I don't know where he got it from, but I got it from him. That's the point. Jesus. So he said something like, nowadays we complain about social media destroying our attention span, social media destroying the world, and blah, blah, blah. But when you really think about it, one very specific thing that's happening is we're all training ourselves to immediately overlook or dismiss or reject something that doesn't excite us in less than 7 seconds. Because if this one doesn't excite me in less than 7 seconds, I just scroll up to the next one. I swipe left and get the next one. And you start treating everything in life like that. Movies, videos, songs. You name it, bro. You start doing people. Getting back to the real point, people. They don't excite you in 7 seconds. That person's boring or blah, blah, blah. It's like you just don't even really give it a chance to develop into something. You expect it to be instant. You want the gratification to be instant. And I know I'm not saying anything that we all haven't heard before. We've been talking shit about social media since 2014, 15, as we continue to use social media in 2024, so I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to do what? Tone. Not trying to get like I'm trying to be deep or like I'm saying something profound or telling you how to live your life. It's just something to think about. Relationships are important, bro. And what I'm saying is I know a lot of people out there wish they had more relationships. I know there's a lot of people that think or feel or know with a certainty they don't have a single friend. Haven't had a girlfriend in years, boyfriend in years. Maybe even gave up on the idea of finding a partner. Gave up on the idea of finding friends. You know? So all I'm asking you to do is think about it. Because time is passing, bro. Time is day after day after day after day is passing right before our eyes. And we only realize it once every 6 or 7 months. Like, damn, it's April already? Damn, it's May already? Wasn't it just February? Wasn't it just January 1st? Time is passing, bro, and it's so easy for all of us. We get caught up in the rat race. We're working. We're fucking scrolling. We got kids to take care of, extra jobs to do. We got to clean, cook, take care of mental fit. There's a bunch of shit to do. There's always something to do. So it's easy to get lost in just a daily grind, bro. You don't even have time to, or you feel, you think, you believe. You don't have time to stop and like reflect and ask yourself, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? Where am I trying to get? Like, what's the goal here? Are the things that I'm doing every day leading me towards that goal? And again, I'm not on some fucking self-help, I got the answer shit. That is not the point. The point is to think about the life you are living, because all of us, including me, very often forget to think about the lives we are living. We live as if we have an unlimited number of days. We don't notice we're getting older. We don't notice things changing, you know? And so if this is the first time somebody asks you to stop and think about that in a while, then that's all I wanted. I couldn't find a phrase right there. Then my job is done. Let me say it that way. Because that's all I want you to do, bro, is think about it. Think about it. But now that we've gotten to this somber area of an episode, where should we go from here? How are we doing on time? 42 minutes. That's not bad. How are y'all liking the shorter episodes? Last couple episodes I put out most of them I think have been less than 30 minutes. Because I was talking to some of the listeners of the show, some of the subscribers on Patreon. Shout out to y'all. Much love to each and every one of y'all. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for the feedback, helping me improve the bonus materials and all that type of stuff, man. Much love to y'all. So anyway, I was talking to some of the listeners just about what would make the show better. Like, what do y'all appreciate about it? What do you find interesting? Blah, blah. I was just looking for feedback. And multiple people said, listen, man, the podcast is great. Love the podcast, but dog, an hour-long episode, 2-hour episode, hour and a half, 7, whatever. It's like, bro, every 2 or 3 days, you hit us with another one. It's like, I don't have time to consume the whole episode, go through the vocabulary guide, look at the example sentences, practice speaking and reading, then do the exercise and write. And I don't have time for all that shit, bro. Read the whole transcript. I'm not doing that, bro. It's 90 minutes of audio. So I had to take that into consideration and remember that not every episode needs to be an hour long. Some of them are perfect, just short and sweet. And that's really what I try to do on the podcast, is just keep it fresh, like not just do the same shit again and again. And I typically just, however long I feel the episode needs to be, that's how long it is. Until I've said what I need to say, I'm not going to stop recording, you know? You know what I'm saying? And anyway, I found that certain subjects, it's better to just keep it short and sweet and give you something to leave with, so that you can actually go put the shit into practice. Because a lot of times you don't even realize you listen to the whole episode. It's an hour, it's 90 minutes. But then you got other stuff to do during the day. So you may not remember to come back and put all that into practice, which is the most important thing. So hopefully with the shorter episodes, that'll be easier. If you're on a tight schedule, you're typically busy, a 20, 30-minute episode is decent, I think, for you to listen to it once, maybe even twice, and then go through the vocab guide, do the exercise, put the shit into practice, you know? So yeah, let me know. Everybody else listening, give me some feedback, player. Just general feedback on the podcast. I thought a lot about doing some type of, Q&A show. Like on my last podcast, I would go live on TikTok and ask questions and then just post the recording as a podcast episode because I knew that other learners would have the same questions that people had during the live stream. And it was working at first, but I haven't been live streaming. I don't remember the last time I live streamed, bro. And I thought about like finding some way to set up a link or a site or something where y'all can just send me questions. And once a week or once a month or something, I'll just answer all the questions on the podcast. But I know a lot of y'all are maybe a bit hesitant to write in messages and stuff. I don't know why. I can only imagine maybe you're insecure about your writing skills, vocabulary, or especially if we're talking about on a public forum, not even forum, but like the comment section on TikTok, Insta, YouTube. You don't want to leave a comment with like a mistake in it, and then everybody shits on you in the comment. Oh, you used the wrong verb tense, asshole, you fucking idiot. You know, maybe you're afraid of that. I don't know. But you can send me an email. I'm not gonna make fun of you, bro. You know me. Come on, man. So let me say it this way, if y'all do got questions about English or American culture or the pod or whatever, or just even, you know what I want? It would be dope if y'all sent in like random stories. I don't know if y'all listen to Bill Burr's Monday Morning podcast, but if you don't, I highly recommend it. And what he often does on his show is answer questions from his listeners or just read crazy stories that they send him, crazy stuff they've been through. And he reads it on the podcast, and it's super entertaining. Similar to the episodes I did reading the stories on Reddit. It's basically that. So yeah, if y'all got crazy stories about any subject, send them in, bro. I will read them on the podcast. I'll keep you anonymous. Nobody has to know. We just want the good story, you know, or whatever it may be. The questions as well. Don't be afraid to send in questions. If I get enough, then I'll just create a whole episode answering all your questions. You know what's funny is often when I get to the end of a point, I don't remember how I got there. I'm sitting here asking myself, why was I even saying that? What was I talking to you about? We went from not letting life pass you by to fucking, you know, give your friends a second chance. They actually might be interesting. And I don't remember how I got to talking about the how do y'all like the shorter episodes? Right, that's what it was. That's what it was, man. That's what it was. Oh, yeah, speaking of the podcast, I should have said this at the beginning of the episode, but I wasn't planning to do it talking about nothing. But a lot of people have been leaving comments on some of my social media or like on the podcast Q&A section on Spotify or sending messages or whatever. Some people have been asking, how do you get transcripts for this podcast? And if you want access to not only transcripts of every episode, but also PDF study guides that will explain all the words and phrases with examples and context, as well as give you an exercise that will help you put everything into practice so that you can really start learning more effectively and not just like passively listening every day. If you want access to all of that, then just click the link in the description of this episode. Go to patreon.com/Real English Radio. And then you sign up for a subscription and you'll get access to all that. And if you got questions about it, send me a message. I prefer you email because I read my emails. I don't get to all DMs and comments every time. So if you really want me to see the message, shoot me an email, bro. Yeah, that's all I got on that one. If you want transcripts, subscribe on Patreon, baby. Is this a good place to end? Yeah, that's right. That's a good place to end the pod, bro. How we doing on time? Almost at the 50 mark, bro. I think that's a good little talking about Nathan. Pretty sure this is number 8. And got plenty more episodes coming for you, my friend. I'm excited about some of the topics we're going to be touching on in the upcoming week. So stay tuned to Real English Radio. But I'm going to get out of here, y'all. This has been yet another one. And I am your host, Tony Kaizen. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I swear I was about to go, peace. But it's fucking, what time is it? 3:30 in the morning. And I'm not doing that to my neighbors. So I'm Tony Kaizen. And I will talk to you soon. Peace.